Welcome back to this season's first edition of Fantasy Report. It's been a long off season, but a good one at that. To start, I want to congratulate Danny for murdering the entire league for a second year in a row, completing his two-peat and proving that he is just as much of a football fan as he is a hockey enjoyer. Now, obviously, the season is starting today, so I'll just be going over what happened in the off season and give each team's odds for week one. Commissioner IR started this year's offseason with a lot of exciting ideas. Turning the league into a keeper league was one of the rules placed up for league vote, which resulted in a 9-1 vote for yes by the league owners. Unfortunately, the only team that voted no, which was the team Grillmaster, formerly known as Dumbfuck, because he didn't have a single first-round talent on his team last year, so he basically got stuck with a high-end bench player as his one keeper. We'll take a moment to pay our respects now to Cam Jones, the former commissioner of the 10th slot in the league, after Smelly decided it was time to cut ties and not resign his contract. So in respect, we will play some of Cam's best moments this year. Big Fuck's owner Cam Jones also on that list. He's honestly not that bad. He starts the correct players every week. His team is just incapable of winning.
Well, that's Cam Jones. He took his place as the worst owner in the league. Even with Zachary not drafting, he still did a worse job. I expect him to lose by 40 this week.
Alvin Kamara basically beat Cam Jones on his own. Going into Monday, we realized this was an absolutely exhilarating week. It was exhilarating for anybody who enjoys blowout games and doesn't enjoy any type of optimism. Pap Smear blew out Dumbfuck. Dot blew out Dickfuck. Cam, obviously the number 2 spot. I talked about him just before, so I don't need to go into great detail. If some of Cam's players start playing better, he has the potential to be moved up to number 3 or even number 4. But as of right now, I'm still going to keep him at number 2. We are going to give the Boof a 74-26 advantage over Cam Jones. Dot is also facing such scum as he has the opportunity to play Dickfuck. So for at the moment, I think it's a toss-up. Could be Timmy, could be Cam, could be Zach, all for the worst. We don't know yet. We'll find out later on in the year. Paps versus Commie Boy, racist pigs blew Dickfuck out of the water, holding a 67-point lead at the end of Sunday. As always, Godspeed from the Cock and Ball Torture organization, and good luck to only Cameron Jones because he desperately needs it more than the rest of us. Cam was replaced by a formidable opponent in Joe. My team is unsure who Joe is, though. Commissioner IR also introduced the idea of a 12-team league, which would have brought in Cody and Couch, but unfortunately, after legal disputes with both teams, which led to contract holdouts, legal issues, and nearly led to our league's first lockout, it was resolved by placing a 1-year hold and possibility of them joining next year. Commissioner Smell is set to stand trial for the case in late February next year to find out if there was unfair play in the contract negotiations. We are expecting to have a 12-team league next season, assuming that all goes well. Lastly, for off-season talk, we've put each team into a grade-based formula to see how well everyone drafted. So we're going to go over those now. Commissioner Smell, his team ranked as a B this year after the draft. Trevor's squad was given the lowest grade. Even though he contested Danny last year for the chip, he drafted like dog shit compared to everyone else. He earned his C+. Lakeland Booth was rated a B-. Would have been higher, but AutoDraft gave me 7 receivers, so you know how that goes. Big Daddy Danny, despite the Super Bowl appearance last year, or the Super Bowl win, I should say, last year, his team was only ranked a B+. Shit cunt retarded Timmy was ranked as a B- as well as the Booth. Dawes with no balls was ranked a solid A this year after being bounced in the first round of last year's playoffs. And the biggest shock on the list, at least for me, came from Grillmaster, who's now facing discrimination charges this year, on top of him still having to handle that trade lawsuit that him and the Booth owner were facing last year. This time, though, his team is, it's because of his team's name, including the slur massa, which is a term that Sharon Draper used in her book Copper's Son to depict what slaves called their masters back then. So fuck you, Zach. but your team earned to be this year, so congratulations. Proving he is still an elite owner after last year's fluke by earning the highest grade in the draft with an A+. Joe, he earned a B. Go ahead. Ask who Joe is. Allow me to note that all of these rankings come from the website Football Guys. These are not my personal opinions. Before I start getting all of the angry text from everybody. Fucking pussy. And finally, my team of fantasy researchers have brought me the predictions for each game. So for the first time this season, let's look at the odds of each team's matchup for week 1. Joe will have a 53-47 advantage over Lakeland Shitweed. Will hold a solid lead of 58-42 over Defund the Police. And Papa Benjamin Smirnoff holds a huge advantage on last year's champion at a 65-35. Hopefully Danny doesn't go off again and take his anger out on me for this take. Commissioner Smell holds a 56-44 advantage over the original joke of our league. And finally, I can't believe I'm saying this, but former dumb fuck, now racist fuck, has the 59-41 advantage over Dawes with no balls. That hurt me as much to say as it hurt you guys to hear. With the predictions over, that concludes Week 1's Fantasy Report. Thank you all for tuning in. Till next time, Godspeed from the Cock and Ball Torture Organization, and best of luck to everybody except for Ruben. Good luck to only Cameron Jones because he desperately needs it more than the rest of us.